Can Sir Gareth Southgate continue to prove the masses wrong? A fantastic result against Germany. Raheem Sterling back on the score sheet. Can he get himself that golden boot? And can Harry Kane use that goal on the weekend to fire himself forward to potentially bring it home? We dispatched of the Germans, dispatched of the Czechs, and absolutely annihilated Croatia. 4 games, 0 goals conceded, and of course 3 victories. And if you don't concede, you don't lose. And as the old adage goes, while attacks may win your games, it's defenses that win your championships. Hey guys, it's your boy JT and welcome back to another video where of course we're going to be going through that Ukraine fixture. Just 3 games to go before we could potentially bring it home. So before I digress too much, let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into the meat of the action. For the first time in this tournament, we're actually going into it as heavy favourites to win the whole competition. And now, for the first time, the pressure is really cranked on. Because before, it was the group stages, we had a bit of a bye. Then we had Germany, where of course, although again the bookies put us as the favourites, we were the consummate underdogs. But now is where we make our bacon. Ukraine and possibly Czech Republic or Denmark on our route to the final. And this time, it's not going to be at Wembley. We are going to have to take one good old trip to Rome. And if I'm honest, this is where my slight fear kicks in, because as I'm speaking today, it is one day before the game, and it is the Friday in which the England squad are flying up to Rome to get themselves acclimated to the area before the game. Now, whilst I do accept that the team did need some rest and relaxation after that Germany game, they haven't had enough time to acclimate to the hot climate that is Rome. They aren't used to playing away in this tournament. We're used to playing at Wembley in home circumstances. Could they be jet lagged? Could they be not used to the area they're playing in? Could they not be used to the humidity? These are all things you have to take into account. And while yes, they seem negligible, and yes, they shouldn't really affect the result too much, they have little psychological impacts on the players. And if anyone in any form of international football is an expert on the psychological matters, it's Sir Gareth Southgate. If I'm telling you the one difference about this Sir Gareth side and all the other sides that went before and failed before it, it's the psychological battles, the psychological strength of the team. He's a man who's very emotionally intelligent. He's a man who manages to get his players playing without fear, playing with freedom of expression. He said himself before the Germany game, he said, this isn't like any other time England have played Germany and lost, because this time the players don't have that fear, they don't have that hang up on them. He takes on all of the pressure himself, all of the hate, all of the anything, and he just lets the players go out and express themselves. And not only is that showed by the fact we're winning, it's showed by our defensive strength. Because what I will say about all the other England teams I've seen is that when I've watched England over the years, we haven't necessarily looked like we've had that much cutting edge. Our big players never really performed. Gerrard was the only one that did. Lampard wasn't contributing to enough goals. Wayne Rooney only scored 1 goal in a major tournament. And it wasn't really clicking up front for us. But even more scary than that, we didn't look strong at the back either. I always felt scared that we were going to concede. I felt like with every attack the other team came at us, they would just cut through us like a hot knife through butter. I didn't trust our goalkeeping. I didn't trust our back four, despite the fact we had some great defenders. We had John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Ashley Cole, but I still didn't really trust them to defend, to keep a clean sheet, the same way I trust this side. This is one of the strongest, most resolute England teams I've seen. I can't think of too many chances any opposition team have had against us this year. You could say, oh, Scotland They had a couple of half chances. They had that nice volley from outside of the box. Of course, there was the Muller chance. That was a gilt-edged chance. And you could say Timo Werner had a decent chance. It was a great save from Jordan Pickford. There was a lovely shot from Havertz from outside the box last game. Again, a lovely save from Pickford. But nothing too crazy. We're really limiting oppositions. We're really frustrating them. We're really making them the same way. Look, we look at it a bit differently maybe because this is our team. And a lot of England fans expect, oh, we have to go out and play these teams off the park and dominate them. But when we look at an Italy or something, and we look at the way that teams hate to play against them because they're going to make it such a torrid affair. You're going to have to work for all 90 minutes to get a scratch of a chance. And believe me, if you fall asleep for 1 second, they're going to come up the other end and slap you on the counter-attack with more cutting edge than a steak knife going through butter. And that's exactly what this England side is. You saw it again against Germany. We can hold back, we can suck them in, lure them in, lure them in, lure them in. Boom! Raheem Sterling breaks away on the counter-attack. Lovely 1-2 out to the wide. Gives it to Kane, gives it to Grealish, gives it to Luke Shaw. It's whipped in, and before you know it, England are 1-0 to the good. It's the same thing we've been doing all tournament. We're lethal on that counter-attack, and we're very, very, very hard to beat. And in international football, that's all you really need. Now, of course, the script is going to be flipped a bit because this is Ukraine. This is a side who, yes, they're not going to be as attack-minded as Germany. Yes, they may sit back a bit more and expect us to break them down. But there's nothing we can't deal with as a nation, as a team. And whilst everyone will be calling for Jack Grealish to start and calling for us to create more opportunities now because we're playing against a team that do set up with a lower block, we're playing against a team that are going to try and shithouse the shithousers of England, we don't necessarily need to do too much different because all we need to do is run them ragged for that 60 to 70 minutes. I'm talking runners, I'm talking Sterling, I'm talking Rashford, I'm talking maybe a Bukayo Saka just sprinting at him, really tiring them out. And then in the 60 to 70th minute, bang, you switch it up. Maybe you bring a Sancho or Foden. Maybe you bring a Jack Grealish on. I think you definitely have to bring a Jack Grealish on. Maybe you slide Foden in there as well. Not for Raz, maybe if you go 4-2-3-1 and you put Grealish in the middle, Foden out right, Sterling left, Kane down the middle, and then you really exploit them. Because look, Ukraine had to play 120 dogged minutes the other week. They were out on their feet. They were shattered. And if we take them to the latter stages of the game, with the game either closed or with us with the lead, believe me, they will crumble at the back. They will not have the fitness or the mental fortitude to keep up with this England side. And we just have to be patient. What we can't do is think, oh, hellfire and brimstone, let's just go firing out all guns blazing podcast style, slamming everyone forward, trying to create chance after chance after chance after chance. Because then you leave yourself susceptible to counter-attack, you leave yourself open, and you're going away from what worked for us so well this tournament. You can't switch up your tactics like that last second. Yes, we can be adaptable to the different challenges that oppose us, but we can't change our core principles of play. That's something Jose Mourinho always talks about. And yes, I know Jose Mourinho may be a bit of a laughing stock in the managerial scene, but he still knows what he's talking about. He's one of the most decorated managers of all time. And when he talks about how there's tactics and there's core principles of play, our core principle of play is to not charge everyone forward. It's to be resolute, it's to be strong, and it's to out-mentally challenge the other team. It's to get them second-guessing themselves. It's to get them leaving little pockets, little gaps. To have runners like Raheem Sterling alleviating pressure, causing them problems, spreading them out. And if we do create those chances, now that Harry Kane has finally got his opening goal, this could set him on to boom, to blow up, to explode this tournament into life. Could be all there for the taking for Harry Kane. Now, does that mean I don't want to see Jack Grealish start? Not necessarily. Because look, I'm not saying that he has to start every game and that there's no merit to bring him off the bench, because I really like that. I think he's a great impact player. It's great to have runners like Sterling and Sacco, or Sterling and Rashford. Sorry, Sacco, not Sacco. But what do you guys think? I want you to let me know in the comment section down below. And yes, I do understand that the lighting is a bit different. I did record an outro for this and it did just all crash on me. So I am just having to quickly redo this last bit. I hope you don't mind. But as always, those were my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down below. And thank you as ever so much for watching this video and sharing your time with me today. If you did end up enjoying the video, then a like would always be appreciated. But for now, guys, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.